on Instagram, you'll be seeing that I posted like stupid exercises I've come across, mainly TikTok, because stupid exercises go viral on TikTok. And everyone wants to go viral. There's a lot of like weird and wonderful exercises out there. Some of them are good, some of them are not good, some of them are good for other things than what they're saying they're good for. And it's a bit hard to find those like rubbishy ones because I can't just search, just kind of break down why they aren't good exercises. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure it's not a long one, but I have kind of saved the videos on my phone, which as I kind of talk through it, I'll like play it somewhere here. The first one, and also I have searched for exercises, or I found exercises that mainly target or say that they target glutes, and this is how you gain glute. Obviously I've had a lot of experience, quite a few years now. I do my research, I'm prepared to unlearn things, and I kind of watch and read valuable people and valuable sources. Hopefully you can take a little bit of insight on this. This first one, I actually found someone super like criticizing it on TikTok, and I thought it was so ridiculous. I just had to post it on mine. So yeah, I'm gonna play the video here. Let me like move over so I can put it on here. So yeah, this girl here is doing a RDL, I think that's what they call it. It's a very short video, but it's a kneeling RDL, which is absolutely ridiculous. There is no range of motion in this exercise. Now the whole point of a RDL is the pull that you get on your hamstrings when like eccentrically, when you're like lowering yourself and then pulling yourself back up, if that makes sense, like the movement to go down and up basically in basic terms. Now because she's kneeling, she's removed that whole range of motion need. If you watch it, like there's nowhere to really go down, which means her hamstrings are not fully stretching to its potential, and again hardly like any distance and range of motion to kind of pull the barbell up. So I really don't know why you'd be able to do this. It's probably easier, and it's probably an easier exercise because you know you're kneeling down, but like easy is not good, and you're not going to grow hamstrings and glutes by doing a kneeling RDL. To be honest, I've never really seen this before, and the guy that she's tagged in it, Wusa, well, I went on his page and I found quite a few videos that were a little bit ridiculous, but that it looks like that's where she's got this exercise from. But it's got 17,000 likes, a lot of views, so it's a little bit ridiculous. Basically, don't do this exercise ever. Just do a normal RDL. Stand up and do a normal RDL. Now you can use a preloaded barbell like this girl is, you can use 2 dumbbells, or you can use like a big barbell and load the plates on. I also find it very useful to elevate myself, so basically stand on a platform. Usually I stand on a plate just to increase that range of motion, especially if you're short and you're using like the Olympic weight bar and the Olympic plates. It's just gonna, when you go down, the plates will hit the floor maybe before your full range of motion. So if you elevate your feet slightly, then you can go down a little bit further. That was the first one. The second exercise we have is, this trainer is a very, very big trainer. I just saw this video, which again, I don't know what she's doing. I'm not bashing it, but I don't know if it's a single leg RDL. I don't know if it's a single leg good morning. I don't really know what she's doing, but the fact that she's doing that and then driving her knee forward is a little bit unnecessary. Just do a normal squat on that machine. That's what it's there for. Even if she was just doing the single leg part of it, then okay, yeah, fair enough. But the main problematic thing on this video is the caption, when she's put, when you and your gym partner see the girl with the fatty doing an exercise you don't do. So obviously she's talking about, you know, trying to grow glutes, and the whole like foot drive thing will do absolutely nothing for you to grow a booty, if that makes sense. It's just an unnecessary movement. Again, you're better off just doing a squat. Use that machine and do a squat, to be honest. The drive, however, is a great kind of movement pattern for people that are like runners and athletes and like track stars, including knee drives are really good at that. But this particular TikTok and video is talking about getting a fatty, and this exercise is not it. Next one is by the creator Rusa, which if you know and seen him, you'll see what his body's like. He is very big on TikTok, and he also does a lot of crazy exercises. So I literally only had to kind of watch through like the first 3 to actually pick out things that were a little bit problematic or a little bit misleading. But at the end of the day, it's all about content for these creators. I know I'm a creator as well myself, and I've done this a lot. If you go back and look at my workout videos that I did during lockdown and quarantine, I'm trying to always think about new exercises which aren't necessarily good for building glute, but they are good for just getting a movement in, a little bit of burn, things like that when it was a lockdown. So let's watch this next video. Rusa, I think the caption for this is he's doing like a glute activation warm-up exercise. So he's doing these walking kickback with this like weird band thing. Instead of just using a normal band around his legs or just standing statically and doing a kickback, he's using this long band to do all of these, which fair enough, it will give you a resistance, and you know, it is quite a good warm-up, but I just think it's a little bit unnecessary, especially this routine. There's so much going on, it is very unnecessary. There's quite a few like sets in there, there's quite a few exercises in there, and one thing I found out is the internet just took glute activation and like ran with it, and I've even made videos on the past on like glute activation, but the reality is I never did glute activation. I don't like it because it tires me out. It causes me pre-exhaustion before I even start lifting. I want to still have all my energy reserves for when I start doing my big compounds. I don't want to, unless you really struggle with growing your glutes, I would suggest maybe like one glute activation, but just do a warm-up set on your exercise. If you're doing a hip thrust, do a body weight hip thrust if you're a super beginner, or just do a light barbell hip thrust. Again, with squats, I will always, when I'm on the squat rack, I will just stretch my legs a little, and then I'll go in with just using the bar and trying to go as low as I can with good form, and just doing that as a warm-up set before actually loading my plates on. It saves a lot of time. You're not doing unnecessary movements, you're not tiring yourself out. You can even just use like a cardio machine for like 5-ish minutes just to kind of warm up those muscles. For leg day, I usually use the Stairmaster, or I will just get on an elevated treadmill and just do an elevated walk. Okay, our next one, this is not a warm-up, I don't think. He is just doing like an actual exercise. So he's doing butterfly walks. I have never seen this exercise in my life. Like, what is it? And I don't know if it has, I don't think it has any sound, so he's not really explaining like the ins and outs of it. Now, there's no point in really using a band. It's not making you grow. Again, I would argue it's probably like a warm-up technique, but again, you don't really be needing to do these. As long as you're just mobility stretching, doing some dynamic stretches before, then you're fine, and you don't really need to use a band anyway to do dynamic stretches. So I do think it's a little bit too flowery, and also because he is using a band, when he kind of stretches the band out, what happens with a band is you've got resistance, so your knees are always trying to push back in, so you're not actually like doing anything to the glutes anyway. The knees just want to cave back in, and it's not really like gonna be putting any tension on the glute. If anything, usually when you use a band and you push out like that, you think it will feel the side of your booty, so the abductors, but actually because your inner legs have to kind of push out so much when you're using a band, it's usually your adductors, which is the inner thighs, that are working. And finally, the last exercise is the kneeling squat. And I did the kneeling squat, did a video of a home workout sometime in lockdown 1 or 2, can't remember, and I threw in a kneeling squat in there. Was it a crazy burn for my glutes? No, not really. Do I ever do kneeling squats in my pre-pandemic exercise routine and now? No, don't think I've ever done them in the gym, not one. Is that how I built my glutes? Definitely no. But does it make good, exciting new content? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this girl's targeted it as upper booty growth, which is definitely not it. And she is doing a kneeling squat. First of all, she's not really going all the way down, because like she's only going down to like her shoes and then going back up, whereas I guess if she kind of changed her shoe placement, she'll be able to go down a little bit lower. She's going slow, which probably helps as well, just with that like tension. She's doing the little butt squeeze, which we've all learned doesn't really do much because nothing happens at the top of a squat. It is all the movement side of it, if that makes sense. So it's about the going up to going down. Obviously if you have more load, so more weight on your back or holding more weight, it's going to cause a little bit more kind of tension and pressure, which is how we gain glutes, or that's how we progress. So again, just like the kneeling RDL, when you're kneeling, you're kind of removing that range of motion and it's becoming shorter, as they call it. The moment arm is becoming shorter. You're better off just standing up and doing that. If she was standing up and maybe holding the dumbbell like in front of her, like a goblet squat, then it would be an amazing exercise. I mean, it probably looks good, but I would definitely not throw these into your workout. So yeah, hopefully that helped. If you're probably doing any of these exercises, or if you see any of these exercises on the internet, I would just steer away from them. Stick to your basics for booty growth, your hip thrusts, your glute bridges, your squats, your RDLs, your deadlifts. Lunges are great, and then kind of machine and cable-y things at the end will be great as well. But yeah, hopefully you found this video useful. Don't forget to check out my Instagram and follow me on there, but otherwise subscribe on here for more realistic, no BS booty growth, weight gain advice.